Hello there everyone! My name is Anna and today we're gonna take a look at the Take a Note 2023 Mini Planner. So let's get to it. So I'm very excited. This just got in the mail yesterday. I actually pre-ordered this from Yoseka Stationery. I first intended to get the A5 size, however that was sold out, so I just got the mini planner instead. So this one is an 8/6 size, and this is the packaging it comes in. It comes in this nice cardboard box, and when you first open it, you have your planner, which is A6 size. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you guys can see clearly. So this is a standard A6 size, and then it comes with other cardboard in here. I also ordered print-on stickers from Yoseka Stationery. I thought that this will be very useful when I decorate my planner because I like to do that. I like to journal, I like to doodle, I like to put some designs on my notebook. So this is a thank you card. It comes with a nice from Take a Note planner. You have the bronze writing here. It's really nice. And then you have another card from them as well. So it says the most important kind of freedom is to be what you really are. And then what's neat about this is if you take a look at the back, you have that neat little calendar. So this is going to be very handy. This is going to be very useful. So this could serve as a bookmark, of some sort, and also, calendar. You can absolutely insert it in your notebook and it's going to be like dual purpose, calendar and bookmark at the same time. So I like that. That's neat. And then you also have a personalized card, like a thank you note from Yoseka. Okay, so you have their crew member. Okay, and then you have a little bit of their history there and just a thank you, note, happy planning, some personalization. And then over here you have the planner that they have, in their shop. Okay, so that's kind of neat. All right, so let's take a look at the planner itself. I don't have a Hobonichi planner. What I'm using currently is the Kinbor planner, which is very similar in layout to the Hobonichi one. So I wasn't able to get the Hobonichi planner. I was thinking that it's going to be very expensive, spending like 40, 50, $60 just for a planner. I don't know. I was just debating about it for a while. And then I got that Kinbor planner. I really like the layout, but I'm not liking the paper because the paper is very thin and there's a lot of ghosting. There is some bleeding at the back, so that's a lot of distraction. So I decided to try the Take a Note planner and see if I'm gonna be liking this. So the cover is made up of like what looks like a cardstock material. So it's not really heavy duty, so you would probably have to get a separate cover for this. So maybe the Hobonichi cover will fit this, and there are a lot of like leather covers available in Etsy or at Amazon, if you want to get some. I like the notebook itself. It seems well made. The binding, okay, is exposed. As you can see, you have the spine in there, which is kind of neat. I like that that look. Okay, it feels very sturdy. Okay, and the look and feel of this is minimalist. So since this is a standard A6 size, it is virtually identical with the Midori MD notebook, which is also in A6. So if I put this together, okay, they are exactly the same size, okay, exactly the same length, and more or less exactly the same thickness. It's just that the Midori notebook is cream in color, and then this one over here, the take a note planner, is white. So I am thinking that I will get another one of the Midori notebook, and then maybe what I can do is glue the back so that I have, like, you know, one notebook. Another thing I like about the planner is it lays flat. Okay, so see there, it lays flat. You can open it, it lays flat. It's ready, it's very nice. Okay, now we're gonna go and see what the planner looks like. So the very first page that you'll see, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see clearly. The very first page that you can see is the, you know, take a note 2023 mini version. And I already used one of the print on stickers to try, you know, on this page. And I really love that print on sticker because it transfers on the page and it blends really nicely on the paper that it looks like a printout. So it's just like it's part of that one design, which is really nice. So one way of, you know, customizing or decorating your planner, and I plan to get some more because I like it. All right, so the very first thing that you will see, okay, is the calendar. So you have the remaining 4 months of 2022. You have your entire 2023 calendar, all 12 months, and then you have the first quarter of 2024. So I like that the calendar is laid out that way. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the entire notebook. Okay, and then over here you have your year at a glance. So it's like a summary of your year. You have your months in a year, you have your days in a year on a horizontal format. Okay, and then you have corresponding boxes for each of these. Let me see if I can actually zoom this in so you can see this clearly. So the writing here is very tiny. It's also very pale. So if you are somebody who has weak eyes, or, you know, you have trouble seeing, you know, small prints, so getting an A6 size may not be for you. I would suggest that you get the A5, you know, bigger size version instead. Okay, so again, this is very useful for seeing your year at a glance. If you want to mark like specific, you know, days in the calendar, for example, birthdays, anniversaries, you know, important dates, other schedules, this is going to be very useful. Another thing is you can use this for tracking habits. There are boxes in here corresponding to each day of the month. So if you're tracking habits, you can check that off. So this is really nice. So another thing that I like about the planner is the paper. So the paper is made of Tomoe River paper, 68 GSM. So this is thicker than the 52 GSM. And I actually tested it to see if there's gonna be ghosting in the back and if there's gonna be some bleeding. But there is minimal ghosting, which is what I like. And also there's no bleed through. So I love that fact that I can, you know, use my fountain pens, you know, and write on the paper without having to be distracted by the ghosting in the back. So this one is perfect. Okay, so the next page is just a summary of your first 6 months of the year. So this is a slightly different view than your year at a glance. Okay, so this one, because here you can't really write anything, but you can absolutely do some markings. Like you can check, you know, these boxes off, or you can do like different maybe highlighter, you know, one for the boxes, but there's really nothing that you can write in here. So if you want to be more specific, then the next page is for you. So you have your first half, the first half of the year at a glance, and so you can absolutely be more specific, you know, with what you have on your schedule for that 6 months. And the other page is very similar to that. It's just a continuation of the next 6 months from July up to um, December of 2023. Okay, so after these spreads, you have your monthly spreads. And the monthly spread starts with December of 2022. So that's kind of neat. Okay, so it's some sort of like a year end like review what your month was like for the last month of 2022. So I am very excited. I actually started, decorating the pages of this planner. Let me zoom in so you guys can see clearly. So the grid is actually very pale, and very tiny as well. So I think the grid size is 3.5 millimeters. And this one, specifically the one that I got, this is in Taiwanese holiday version. So you have the Taiwanese characters here. I would have to specify what is the corresponding, US holiday. But that's fine because I can do some customization. I can have fun with it, so that's fine. All right, so what I like about the layout of these monthly spreads is that you have spaces. So you have spaces here at the top, some spaces here on the sides. The left hand side has slightly, wider space to write on than the left hand side. And then you have like an inch space here at the bottom. So if you want to do some customization, if you want to do some decoration, then you can absolutely do that, which is basically what I've already done here because I was excited. So I already marked, some holidays and, some birthdays. So let's take a look at this thing that I did right here. So do you see my painting here? I actually use fountain pen ink to make these pine trees, and then as you can see, I have that glitter in there. Isn't that lovely? I love that. Okay, so those of you, you may be wondering what I used here for that effect. That's basically the jelly roll pen, in Stardust. I love the Stardust jelly roll pen because it does give you that sparkly, glittery effect without making it too flashy. Okay, so that's really neat. Anyway, so let's take a look at the remaining pages here. So again, the next couple of pages are just monthly spreads. I do have some customization that not customization, but some decorations that I already started here. Okay, so these are just the 12 months of 2023. Okay, I did mark a couple of dates for the birthdays, anniversaries, stuff like that. I really love this. Don't you think this is so pretty? Don't you just love that? That is actually the print on sticker that I got from the Yoseka, stationery, but it blends really nicely, with the color and the theme there. It almost looks as if it's, printed on the paper when it's not. So I really love that. Anyway, so I can't get over that. So another thing in here. All right, let me show you what's next. So after that monthly spread, okay, for the first 12 months of 2023, okay, it does not end there. You have a couple months for the beginning of 2024. So you have January, February, and you have March. I think this ends in March. Okay, so after that, you will start with your weekly and daily pages. And this is actually neat. So it will start with the last week of December. As you can see over here, it says December. And then you have the weeks I don't know if you can see that clearly. It's really very pale, so you can't really see that much. So over here you have the last week of December. So then you can have your week at a glance. It's easier to have your week at a glance. And then over here you have the corresponding days, in that week. You have a tiny little calendar here. Let me zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom that in. I don't know if my camera, yeah. So you have that tiny little calendar there telling you where you are, in the month, which week you are in the month. So as you can see here, you have your weekly, spread here. So it kind of outlines like your week at a glance, okay? And then over here, you do have your corresponding days in a week. Instead of having one page for a specific day, you actually have 2 days in one page. And then you have the vertical time format, starting with, I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can zoom this in so you can see clearly. So it actually starts in 5 o'clock in the morning, and then it ends at 12 midnight. So it is in a 24-hour format, but the entire time, the spread, the time interval is not 24 hours. It starts from 5 and then it ends at 12 o'clock, which just makes sense because what do you do after midnight? You sleep, right? You don't do much unless you have a different shift. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Okay, so hopefully you can see the pages clearly now that I zoom this in. So the bulk of the pages is actually just your weekly and your monthly spreads. Let's take a look at another one here again. So you have your January. Let me zoom that in. You have your January 2023. You have the second week in January, because you can see that because that's indicated here. It's kind of like highlighted. And then over here on the left hand side, you do have like your week at a glance, okay, and marking like specific, like important things that you need to accomplish. And then, okay, for your daily pages, you now have the opportunity to actually record, that specific schedule you have in a day, okay, following this, vertical time format, which is actually really nice. All right, so like I said, the remaining pages is just the weekly and the monthly, pages. I'm sorry, weekly and daily pages. And then over here at the end, it actually ends in the 31st of 2023, and then you have maybe 1 or 2 pages blank grid just for your notes. I am not liking that. I think I want a couple more extra pages for that, and that is the reason why I think that getting another MD notebook, okay, and sticking it here at the back, making it look like it's one, would work for me. So then I have my specific calendar planner, and then I would have my section for my notes. So that is what I am intending to do. Okay, and then at the very last page is your information. All right, and then you have another card stock material for the cover, and that's about it. That's about the Take a Note 2023 mini planner. So what do you think? Okay, what do you think of the layout? Do you think this is something that might work for you? Do you think this is something that you would want? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's gonna help my channel a lot, and you will be notified when my next video is up. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.